Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Molly. I am a healthcare business consultant. Today, I'm going to be talking about a checklist for a successful medical practice. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the video. Okay, so we have our first checklist here. First off is a business plan for my providers who are thinking about opening up a practice, a private practice. Make sure you write out your business plan. You don't need a drafted document or something through the courts. Just, a spiral notebook and just start jotting down what the name of your practice is going to be, what kind of practice is going to be, um, and what type of supplies you're going to need, and things of that nature. Next is legal and regulatory compliance. You want to make sure that your um, practice is within code, is within compliance. I actually was networking with someone a while back, and she specializes in compliance. So she's always stressing to people who are thinking about opening up a business that it has to be compliance ready. Next is the quality patient care. Always put forth effort and energy into your patients. They're the ones who are making you the revenue. So make sure you have good quality patient care with your clients. Next is efficient staffing. Um, I can't stress this enough that when you have accurate staffing, your medical practice will run like a well-oiled machine, literally. um, because you don't want patients coming into your establishment, your practice, and there's hardly anyone there to take insurance or do registration. So make sure you have efficient staffing. Next is effective marketing. Um, we are in the stage or generation, should I say, of internet and social media. So it's important to get your business name out there. So market on social media such as Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or even Twitter. Well, which is now X. So X, formerly known as Twitter, you can also market on there as well. Next is EHR, electronic health records. Um, I, to be completely honest, I don't know too many practices who don't have electronic health records. That was implemented like I want to say years and years ago. It's a smoother method when retrieving a client or patient's record instead of going into a file cabinet, rummaging through paperwork. So make sure you have a good quality EHR system. Next is patient scheduling. You want to also make sure that you have someone that is trusted and that's also educated in scheduling appointments, because you don't want a patient, to be double booked to see a provider, especially if it's only one provider in the office. Next is billing and revenue management, my favorite subject to talk about. Make sure you have a very accurate, very knowledgeable biller that is familiar with revenue as well, because that's going to be your bread and butter, your meat and potatoes of your practice. Next is continuous education. I can't stress this enough. If you are, again, a provider that's thinking about opening up their own private practice, you want to stay on top of compliance, billing, and revenue codes, CPT codes, ICD-10 codes. Um, if you are unable to stay within a float with continuous education, make sure you have a supervisor or an office manager to stay up on different things that are happening within the coding and billing world. So this is our second and final part of our checklist. Next, we have financial management. Again, you want to make sure that you have a manager, an office manager, and or a supervisor in your practice who's able to um, review your finances within the practice. Um, Also, to just to present to you on a monthly, or I want to say annual basis, of what type of monies that your practice is generating. Next is insurance contracts. Providers. This is super important. When you're opening your practice, um, we all know that 90% of patients in the US have insurance. So make sure that you are contracted um, with certain insurances. I want to put out there that Medicaid also uh, takes a little bit longer for contracting, and commercial almost just as long. So if you are thinking about signing up with a commercial like a Blue Cross or Aetna, or a Medicaid plan such as Molina or United Healthcare, again, it takes 6 months, almost to a year, for contracting to for you to get approved and take place. So make sure that you submit all the necessary information when you are contracting with an insurance company. Next is patient engagement. Make sure you have a good rapport with your patients. We know your providers, we know your doctors, but most patients like good bedside manner. I know I do. I mean, I can understand the medical lingo, but I also too um, appreciate a provider who's just not talking down to me, but is talking at me and with me and holding a conversation. Next is technical integration. That's kind of going to go back to the EHR system. Make sure you have a good, tight electronic health record system. Make sure you have a good scheduling system. Make sure you have a good billing software. Next is credentialing. That's going to tie into insurance contracts. You want to make sure that you are credentialed with the payers that you are interested in. Make sure that you have your NPI, and make sure that your license is up to date as well. Next work is network and referrals. Again, that's just going back to patient satisfaction. Once a patient or a client has a good interaction with a medical practice, a provider, they're going to spread the word. That's a referral right there. Like if someone's looking for a new primary care physician, and you know, say for example, I just saw my PCP, and that it was great. I had a great experience there. So if I hear of a friend or a family member that's looking for a primary care physician, I'm going to refer mine, because I do have good experiences with my PCP. She is the absolute best. And again, networking, it goes back to social media, getting your name and your business out there. Feedback, patient surveys. Uh, I see a lot of medical practices gearing towards feedback from patients. So with patient surveys, it's vital, because you're getting that feedback from them of how their visit was, how their care was, how things were explained to them. That's important to have a patient survey within your practice, because you want to know their point of view, emotionally and mentally, how they're feeling towards the service they received. Next is emergency preparedness. I put in the pandemic because, let's face it, 2 years ago we were there. So make sure you have a plan in place for if there's some type of other pandemic that's coming up. We already know that COVID is still kind of like lingering out there. So have a backup plan, emergency backup plan, when there's some type of pandemic that comes around again. Next up is the HIPAA Privacy Act. Again, that ties into the compliance part. So, make sure you have your HIPAA privacy forms. Make sure you train your staff properly not to have any patient information out while you have another patient being serviced. So things of that nature. Next is community involvement. Get involved with your community. If you're setting up a practice within your community, and if you live in your community, get involved with them. Maybe offer some back to school specials, maybe a teacher appreciation special, maybe um, a nurses week special. There's so many things that you can incorporate to be involved with your community when you have a business. And last but not least, self-care. Can't stress this enough. As a provider, that is a lot of responsibility, seeing patients and clients on a daily basis. Also, dealing with your staff, your manager, supervisor, your front desk staff, your billers, revenue cycling, and also to patient registration and patient scheduling. You're dealing with a lot. So I want to stress enough to my providers. Make sure you take the necessary time off. With any job, you're going to feel some type of burnout. That's why they created paid time off and vacation. So if you're going to be working 6 months straight, within those 6 months, have a plan to at least take about a week or two off within those 6 months, because you know we're not robots. We are humans. Humans do get tired sometimes. So it's good to have vacation time off so you can rejuvenate and just take some time off for yourself to reflect before you jump back into, your practice. So for additional content, I mentioned this before, but I still want to mention it again. I do have an ebook that's available on Amazon. It's How to Increase Revenue in Your Medical Practice. 6 revenue tips to guarantee financial success by yours truly, Molly Staley. Check the book out. It is extremely informative, especially for anyone who is in the healthcare business field. And let's face it, revenue is what our providers want to see on a daily basis in their medical practice. So, with that being said, that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.